Hey, Bri, doesn't it suck that the boss is always over our shoulder when we're trying to talk?
Jay, he should be entertained by us. Let's get out of here and finish this conversation.
All right, but as long as it's not work-related.
Jay,
B.
how's it going?
I am greater than you sound, buddy. Pick it up. Pick it up.
I want to welcome. I want to welcome everyone to the Work Related Podcast
We are related by work on Twitter.
on
and
X.
The whole thing there. So the people will be very relieved to not hear our pre-roll. That was way too work-related. I don't know if we personally haven't had a work-related conversation like that for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems, if I can think of it last week, we were off before, it was more of that kind of political bullshit talk beforehand.
Yep.
So maybe you were like backed up. It wasn't like you were frustrated for lack of fucking talking. It was more me. It wasn't like I needed or feel to give you an apology or whatever. But by the time I saw you yesterday, my perfect 7.5 hours that I planned for my day, like just turned to shit in the last like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And it was like,
It was evident.
It was evident. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I was just telling you, I was just like, I need more time. I need more time in a probably roundabout way. But that's just me. And when things don't go to plan.
I know, Jay.
You know that? Is that easy? Is that like, hard for me to say?
I've come to your area enough to know when the red light, green
The red light, green light. Very good. I forgot about the red light, green light. Yeah, so that can like come into effect. So we were talking
By the
about,
way, it doesn't mean I'm going away. It just means I'll
this is
spend
the problem.
less time.
So it's the ultimate respect I can give you where I don't have to pussyfoot around.
Yeah.
Like when I do take off my mask or do something or do whatever and just like say what's up, that's luckily for you, quote, that I am willing to give you my time. But like the best part about having a good friend was just like, just fuck off. Like now there's not the fucking time. Like you can say, and then it wasn't the time or place to tell you to fuck off because it wasn't a fuck off moment.
Yeah.
But I needed to take care of something, and I was in the midst of this ultimate frustration, and part of it, like I just told you today, I can see how I could have made it better. Like how many of these trucks I've only made, and we've talked about stuff about them adding instructions when they don't know how to build a paper airplane. Why are you telling me to, you know what I mean, like do this? And it's laughable because
I'm so going to use that when I bring
But I've said that
up.
a million times. I've said that about Charles years ago.
I'm using it. I'm going to say it in front of Charles.
Yeah, he will. I hope he fucking recognized. Did I hear that before? Where have I heard that before? Did my mom tell me that? And so, yeah, like it's the balance. It's not even right. Of ignoring it most of the time and hearing it come from you, where telling you just like to ignore it or however I deal with it. But most of the time is ignoring it and seeing like where there's instructions. It's not that I have like the seniority to ignore it, but it's just like I know that's not how I'm going to build it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't even say something that they gave instructions for. Like this is going to make sense. That they said to build this offsite, and so I could see how you could do both. I think I've seen Alvin build this part of that head like thing in the truck on site, and I've realized I can build part like whatever. I use it just to my advantage as I can, but I can see. I try to picture. You say when you're working with new guys and they see this information, it really fucks them up.
Yeah.
It really like because you'll got a guy like your buddy Booby who's like tries to be a letter of the law guy, or he like, you know what I mean? Like he I don't know, like the balance of making sure nobody does something wrong and knowing when to cut corners or just let something go.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of people we talked about where they're just like they'll tell you to go like do a certain thing and then mock you to other people behind their back that that's how they did it.
Yeah.
Like say like, can you believe this guy only made 2 of these when rightfully they told the person only to make 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't even know what the agenda is, but that's those type of people. And so I am just so happy to not be involved. What part of the end of the conversation was, and I've said it here when I was even talking about doing sales or what other things I could do, and I was like, it's still in my recovery for the hip. And it's like, is this the end of me actually physically being able to work? And I don't know how much his butt hurt because I was kind of turned down for being a lead hand assistant, and they wanted to go with Tariq, and we know why we wouldn't want to do that. But there's also other reasons that it is okay. Like he does want to be involved, might not be for the right reasons, but he is way more accepting to appear to want to help people than I ever would. Like I don't want to help those people.
You don't have the bullshit though. That's the difference.
I know, but that's why it would be better. That's why you and I know that's the better person to do.
100%.
That's more like you and Marcel.
Yeah.
Like you are more of a ladder climber than Marcel. It's more. We've already kind of talked about that. But that's like that's how you operate. You know what I mean? Like you're always not looking for the bigger, better thing, but how can we change? How can I evolve in a way that's how you want to evolve? not saying I'm de-evolving, but like I just want to. I know what I like, and I like to stay in that comfort zone.
Yeah.
And so I see that, but I don't know what the kind of butthurtness is over there. But but like I looked at it a couple times, even this week, and just say, "Fucking." I think it's a blessing that I never did it. I think it's a blessing that I started no light duty stuff, because then what I've said, like, even though I still struggle, like it's not as much of a struggle as it was before, and I needed that for my body, for my mind, just to get back in it, and work solo like that, just get everything done without as much help as I might ask. But you were saying like so I don't regret like not having that decision happen, like that thing happen for me, but I do. Like I said, I do think it was a wrong decision. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know how much I hold on to being hurt that they didn't pick me. But as a job, as my day to day, when you tell me about some of the like the bullshit stuff you deal with and all the things, like it's not your fault. It's not like you reaped, you know what I mean? Like you're reaping whatever you sowed. But in the way of like, if you don't like how Booby's doing something, like that's purely on you.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? And I don't like, so yeah, like you were going to say, I don't want to even try to lead you into how you were going to start that.
I said I don't miss building bodies.
Yeah, I get that. You that's how you look.
I think it's the exact opposite. Like at first, I started missing building bodies and doing that, but I think it's the exact flip side. I don't want to deal with the bullshit that you guys deal with anymore. Like, I don't want to deal with the bullshit of sanding or cutting something to make it fit.
Yeah.
Like, I could rather just tell somebody that they have to make it fit at this point.
Yeah.
I obviously the bullshit I have to deal with is different, but I'm so past. Like, when I saw Alvin, for example, building the through box with shells inside, I just remember thinking, like, I do not want to do that. There's no way I want to crawl in that box and do any of that shit.
I can see what you're saying, for real.
Yeah, so that's why I started to see more and more that I like to say the things now in theory, because now I know how to build a lot of stuff. Like, I'm not like supremely experienced, but I'm experienced enough I can figure shit out, of course. So I rather just tell people that and deal with because now it just seems like more administrative bullshit I do than anything else at this point.
So you just said bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, so you're just dealing with a different pile of bullshit?
Exactly.
Are you, so what is it about the physically building the shelf part you don't like? Is it too, like, what, like, I'm just curious.
I don't know if it's the difference because I haven't done it in so long that I'm just far removed from picturing myself doing it, or that I'm just tired of dealing with that. When I used to build bodies, after like you know how you said when you build things you learn things and you don't do it again. I was so adamant about not doing the things again that makes the body harder.
Yeah.
That things just became easier, especially when you do like repetitive builds. Like, things just became easier. I don't want to go back through that process of building things, especially a lot of these new bodies coming down and going through that whole process again to physically have to make things easier, to physically have to make a mistake and cut something out, to redo things, to rely on my supervisor to give me the information I need to finish. Like, I just don't want to do any of that. I don't want to do any of that. We have a certain autonomy in our jobs as welders, even though I'm not really a welder anymore, but I just don't. I like the autonomy I have now. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Okay, I appreciate like how you're saying that, and it's true to how I kind of see your journey type of thing. And this is why you've wrestled with that question, like, do you miss bodies? And you know what I mean? Like, it's not a question you've not said out loud more than like a year or so or whatever more. The autonomy, that's a great way to put it. Like, I'm not looking to make the job easier for me, like, or just have like a cakewalk like job. Like, I'm not looking to do the easiest thing. Like, that doesn't like do it for me.
No, but making the job.
Oh no, that I have to
that
do.
Run easier.
That's why I was so frustrated yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why.
No,
that's
that
why
frustration. So my issue in the moment, like, I'm mad at the frustration, but in time, like, I wish I got over the frustration faster. Like, again, that's just a weird quirk. I'm not trying to blame it on my love on the spectrum-y type of fucking way. I'm just blaming it on, like, against, I could be better on that, right? But that's me saying that to you way later.
I've had those same exact
But
frustrations.
like, so those are the thing. The autonomy part is I can fix it all with my mind and my hands,
Yeah.
with nobody else's involvement. Like I hate even relying, like asking my supervisor for all that. Like I just let it go at a certain point,
Yeah.
and just like and I like that part. Like I don't want to be the person that's been let go onto, like because there's less autonomy in what you do in my mind. Like it might look like it just looks like you don't get your hands dirty. You're just more of an upper echelon, you know what I mean? Like a different tier. I don't see that. I've known that like we're all kings and I. Like everybody's the same fucking person.
Yeah.
Like you go golfing or play hockey with any of these CFOs or anything like they do a whole different job and they run their lives a way different way, but really they're just a dude. They're just a guy. They're just a person.
Yeah.
Everybody's the same. And you're just changing for one frustration for another.
Yeah.
And
That's exactly what
and
it
so
is.
that your frustration is people based. Your wall that I can imagine you come up to and trying to like change is way harder than me just taking a quarter-inch off of where I'm putting the bottom of the compartment. That
Maybe, yeah.
No, that it's yeah. Like no, you've grown into it. You've like I from my perspective, the frustration of like talking about Alvin and what he's doing. I just have to look at it a couple times. I have to see it. I could be frustrated with how like the information that I've been given to get this final product. But I know for all my years, like we just need a final product. Like this is why I don't ever even look at the hours. Like I'm never going to want to care about the hours. Not for I understand that's how the business is run and all that, but that doesn't help me do it properly. It doesn't help me. Like eventually I'll get you, but all I can do is I've said to my buddy V on Night Shift, just like don't worry about how long they've taken to build bumpers or do all that. Just worry about you doing your best. And then so I get to do that. You doing your best, you have to have so many other people help you out. Like I just doing my best is just like, I just know it's like, hey man, we need this box welded onto this thing.
Well, that's the thing. Like last year when I did, when they were doing my review, most of my review was based on how everybody on my shift performed. It's not necessarily how I
that's
performed.
ridiculous.
It's how you got everybody on the shift to perform. So you trade in your hands-on performance, which I'm good with managing my own time. I'm good with doing the things I need to do for
But you're over it.
other people. Yeah, I'm so over that. I feel like
You're over that.
I'm over that. But other people to affect how you're evaluated. Like even though when mistakes are made on the shop floor and we discuss them in production meetings, or like if a body is finished and it's not fully finished and it gets discussed in a production meeting, it's my fault that the body wasn't fully. It's not the welder's fault that he didn't take all the screws out or he didn't do all the welds or anything. It's my fault, right?
That's- okay.
Ultimately. So that's just the harder, that's just the bullshit I traded for. I'm trading my own work to be represented by somebody else's work.
Yeah, see, so obviously I could probably grow into that if I felt, but I'm so happy to not grow into that. Like it's not, I've never even wanted that at 25 or 35 or 45. Like I've never, the autonomy of not relying, like it's a fault, like whatever, right? Like it just leads to like whatever, like having people have a red light and green light on, like whatever, have to do something. Like you're not as viewed as a go-to guy in like your type of way. I'm cutting myself short, like not ego-wise or not that, only because the way that I've made friends with certain people on the night shift is just showing them one or two things.
Yep.
Like V and the other guys,
You should keep doing that.
I've cashed in. Yeah, but I wanted to, and they've turned me down.
I wouldn't turn you down.
I know, but maybe when you're in the bigger position, we could like change all that.
Or
But
you
for
could come
now,
to the shift.
what?
Or you can come to the shift.
I would love to come to your shift. We've already talked about that.
I know. I'm never going to stop talking.
Yeah, my body
about
would still
it.
fucking. I'll get into fucking sleep talk later in a second, but my body's still not gotten over that. I see that. I've worked but that's really not how my life is ever going to work. Like as much as I still
Not
don't
with
understand,
that attitude.
I still don't understand what about it I won't like. Right? Like I'm just remembering the good old days.
There are things.
And things. And so there's going to be certain things that I might not like about this.
For sure.
Right? And all the frustrations of coming in on that shift, like it's like whatever. I could just imagine that it wouldn't be a complete 100 fucking percent
Absolutely
on
not.
board. So just like everything else, just like I could complain about numbers guys are running our shop, that the owner of the shop doesn't walk through and realize how more important that Johnny might be to a Tariq or to just a random person or whatever, right? To an Alvin, not knocking Alvin or whatever, but not to realize that, hey, this Johnny, like not knowing who Johnny really is and what he brings to the company other than a number. And our bosses just treat us like a number. And when you get felt
Which
treated,
boss?
Ryan
Okay,
and
yeah.
Sunil.
Yeah.
They don't really have they know us because they know us for a certain amount of years, but they don't really know us like they did when it was when the owner would walk through the shop.
Absolutely.
You would have a personal relationship with them. They would get to know, they would be whatever, right? It is the kind of cachet that we all know, like how Ron is or how whatever it is, right? Like after 20 odd years, you can't help it. It's on paper, they're still just a number. Like that's a difficult state because they'll get the projects they are because of who they are or what have you. But really, and it's not even a fault, but it's just if that's how you want to run about it, and if you start feeling like a number, then you're just going to get it's good enough. And so nobody's really. That's why I'm like, if there's something out a quarter inch or do something like that, like it's not like I'm surprised something hasn't come back to me that I've built. Just like, hey, if nobody complained about that, when it comes to next time, then I'm not going to care so much about this thing underneath. As long as the weld is kind of there, I don't care if it's square. It just has to be good enough.
Sure, I'm gonna try, but
Yeah,
I ain't
sure, I'm going to
cutting
try,
it
but I'm not
out.
going to live in that
I ain't cutting
frustration.
it out.
Because I've known, and this is what Ali, I think, has more than your buddy Booby for sure. Like you're maybe a bit in the middle, and I see it like Marcel, just like this truck. I'm imagining him in a meeting. This truck needed to be done yesterday, and we got to do this. And so, is it on? Does the weld look kind of good? Fuck, I wish that was kind of grinded out a bit.
Yeah.
Like the world moves on. Like let's go. So now you're making a decision, and so you're telling me now that's my responsibility. I've seen something that's kind of like whatever, right? Or if a screw is in there, I'm just going to take it out myself instead of bringing this guy over because it's so much easier for me to do. Like I couldn't live in. That's way harder to deal with because I can forgive being treated like a number because that's how we're running it. I can even see what the advantages is for me, and I can do that. So. The night shift is a pure version of a number. This is the whole reason why, again, when that night shift is on there, everything that we work on is less precious. Like, I don't see it because I work on the same thing nobody else touches. But even when they bring a new guy in and they do the floor, do whatever, just like, I have to be less precious on this because I have to think like it's just a number. And so I get to absolve all the responsibility you want. Like that idea of my review is based on what other people are doing. Is insane to me. Like
know,
I get it.
crazy.
I don't like it's not an insane concept, but that's an insane frustration to live in.
Yeah,
it's
nothing
way
you
worse
can
than
do.
taking a quarter inch off of whatever I'm building.
Yeah.
And even then, it's like, well, why don't you guys have a shear? And now I'm imagining a conversation. Well, how come it took them so long? And nobody's going to defend me that they don't have a shear.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's whose fault is that? And I'm just worried about like what other people think of me, and that's a bigger problem.
And that's why you have to have a good supervisor so they can say that kind of shit.
Yes, I do. But even then, I have a great supervisor in Marcel. But I think it's lost in it's not 100% lost in the shuffle, but it gets lost with fucking the guy above him and below him.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Marcel's not your supervisor.
No, I know he's not, but he's there the most. My
I
other
know.
supervisor is more absent.
And that's the problem. And this is what I keep. Actually, I don't even want to talk about that part.
Okay.
But I have his back. I have Marcel's back when it comes to that kind of stuff. I always make sure I speak out all. He's even told me, you don't have to defend me like that. Because I said, they'll say things and it'll be like, oh, well, Marcel, that's your job. And I'll immediately be like, he's not the supervisor. That's not his job. He's not paid as a supervisor. He doesn't have all the powers of a supervisor. On the floor, yes, but when it comes to like he can't just make departmental decisions on his own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I always make sure that they know that unless you're gonna make him the actual supervisor, don't make him responsible for all the shit.
I'm hoping not to make you talk about something you don't want to talk about, but then no, but this is so what happened to our boss Ali being in your meetings? Like I see,
Exactly.
that's what I'm saying. So this
I bring it up.
No. But I'm just. I don't give a fuck about what you're talking about. I'm thinking of you for a half second. But the problem with me seeing is that it's like, what am I supposed to care about that? I understand that whole situation, and I bring it up because I see you all go up to that meeting, and I could hate on the idea of fucking all you people getting paid for these meetings that aren't as productive as you might want them to be, but that is not a way to think about it. That's not a productive way to think about it.
Yeah.
That's above my pay grade. That's not helping anything. Like, I'm not helping the situation there, but it's easily mockable. That's what we want to do. We just like look at them fucking, what do they think they're going to do? And if they don't do it, then nothing will ever fucking change.
Absolutely.
Right? I get it. But and it's not just because, even if I didn't have this personal, intimate conversation about it, I could see that there's one person that doesn't go up. And I've known that you've even told me they've asked for him, they've done this and did that. And so I see where that's an issue. And so this is where the confusion's going in. They shouldn't, like, they're doing it to themselves. They're shooting themselves in their own foot. So you having to defend Marcel for something like that, I would never want to be a part of. Like, that numbers game is way worse than the numbers game we just talked about with the fucking shelves and doing it with their hands. Even through this conversation, like, seeing all this, like, I couldn't imagine dealing with that properly. Like, I understand you and you loving the fact that, okay, instead of I'm responsible for 100 hours on this truck, now I'm responsible for 1,000 hours and 10 guys on different things. And now how can I be this leader of men and do all that? And yeah, so you can say to me, yeah, that's just as frustrating as grinding a quarter inch off a fucking plate. Like, I can compare the two, and I totally get it. But me personally, I would rather angrily grind that plate than try to convince Sugar to build a truck faster.
Oh, God,
or something. You know what I mean? Like, again, you're not, but like they're there.
Sugar.
Right? They come and go, right? They come and go, right? Then you might not have, you have less sugar. You know what I mean? You're not sugar free, but you have less sugar in your diet right now.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. I bring that shit up because that's my ultimate imagining, right? And see like what's going on. And I have lots of empathy, but I don't in the middle of work. I hate stupid people, and I hate fucking incompetent people. And I don't mind showing like whatever. I'm ignoring the 80% of the people that are willingly taking the instruction. And like I said, when I've done it with people, I've made friends for life with fucking K and V and fucking whatever, because I gladly, like, I was willing to show them something. But that's because I didn't have to. If that was my job to do, and then they kept calling me over and then doing this, and that'd be this like, yeah, I would have to figure out to be the type of person like, fuck, bro, I already showed this to you. Or whatever it is, and just be mad. But if I had to keep doing it, so I get why you like to get better at that. But then when it comes to this meeting thing and the whole supervisor and defending this, it's just like, this is the kindergarten shit. This is so worse than grinding a quarter inch off a plate.
You'll never know how much. You'll never see how much politics. You'll never, not even see. It's like you never realize how much politics there is in this kind of bullshit till you actually realize how much politics there is in this kind of bullshit.
That's what it sounds like. I don't know if you're trying to make yourself a title of a fucking episode right there, but
should I use that as a title?
I don't know. Well, it's the only show we
I
have
only
talking
said
about politics.
the same sentence twice.
It's the only say about the politics thing. Yeah, I mean, that's what it sounds
Well,
like.
actually, I could use that, and it'll be misleading because we talked about politics last time, and they'll be like, "Oh, they're going to talk about politics," and then we just don't talk about politics.
That's what I thought you were fucking getting at, or you were about to change the subject. And so, yeah, like that level is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, even still, you've had, since I came to the house, before we came up, you had one phone call from a work-related conversation. Not this work-related, but the other work-related.
Yes.
And I don't know how you would pick up that phone and not be getting paid for it. Like, you're a fucking sucker. That's what I've kind of basically said to you.
It's only because I like Marcel, and I know what he's dealing with, and that's part of dealing with it, is that we can vent to our shit to each other.
But you've been written up for stuff that's been happened on Friday.
Well, that's
like, you've
fucked
been
up.
involved in things that like you don't like that.
Had nothing to do with.
But yeah, but like, you are willing to accept that in this new role, and I'm not trying to take it like so personal, but that just seems the worst thing that you're allowing yourself to be taken advantage of, right? Like, and that's not.
We all are. Our employers take advantage of us many times in just different ways.
Yeah, well, we take advantage of them too.
Of course, it's back. You don't think I take advantage of them? 100%.
I don't know what. So yeah, I mean, I think it just speaks to who you are. Like, I just like going. It'd be like why it'd be hard for me to work from home, right? Because I just like being at home when I'm at home.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean. Like, I don't like.
Home is not for work.
Yeah, like I don't like I'd be real hard motivated to fucking do that kind of thing. I think
though I'm at a point where I'm starting to get to this weird type of a thing where I just feel like I have to be involved in what's going on. It's hard for me. the best way, I guess, it's hard for me to disconnect. A lot of people at work are good at disconnecting right now, and I've usually been good at, like, when I'm at home, it's not like I'm thinking about work or like all these kind of stuff or doing anything like that. But when I'm at home and like Booby calls me, I'll be like, oh shit, something must have happened at work. Like if I was off during the week or whatever. Like that's immediately, it's hard for me to not answer that phone. It's hard for me to not read my emails on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's hard for me to disconnect during those parts when it comes to work. So I'm in this weird kind of a spot right now. Like I said, I haven't missed a day of work in 2 years now, right? And even now, it might even be 3 at the end of this year. Like a sick call or been late or left early in 2.5 years. So that's the kind of weird spot that I'm in right now.
I understand. I think the people that have listened for a while would understand like how true it is that you can't disconnect, or not like that's the first part. You want to be involved.
Yeah.
Like I've never met a person. I have. You are the type of person that I would put into that category.
Yeah,
a
for
lot
sure.
of people like don't or sometimes not involved enough, and some people have to know everything. You are definitely one of those people that have to know everything, and so. I blast people that are in my position that think they have to know everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm fine with not. I've let go of that. Like that disconnect. That's where I connected. I completely disconnect. I can disconnect from how they make the sausage. Like this is why I've never wanted my own business. Like from seeing my dad struggle through it or whatever. Like it's so hard to do and it's not rewarding. There's no reward. My reward is, like I said, my frustration is it just didn't go to plan. That's me being an idiot for having a plan. And like you know what I mean? Like I saw that. Like I just didn't see it coming and I should have. And it was just bad timing and my bad reaction, my own personal traits. I don't see my bad traits translating well into the people-pleasing business. Right? Like I could get over it. But I've had a lifetime of not having to.
Yeah, I can see that, but I can also see that the fact that in the industry that they're in, they appreciate that type of a person. You know, like I appreciate. Me and Booby were talking, and we're like, Love Deep, your favorite buddy. We're like, yeah, we're talking about all the guys, and we're just like, even V. We're just like, yeah, we're like, you know, he's wishy-washy. Sometimes he's this, sometimes he's that. And I said, this is exactly what I like about Love Deep. Better or worse, you know exactly what you're going to get from him every single time. You know exactly, if you go to have a conversation with him, you basically know what he's going to say or how he's going to take it. And I appreciate that because then I don't have to waste my time with him. I can already make decisions based on and anticipate what he's gonna do, and I can make him more productive because he's just, you know, he is who he is. When you get to other people, oh, my mood today, you know, maybe I don't feel like working, or maybe I'm tired. He's gonna work no matter what, and he's gonna try and do what he's got to do no matter what. But the things he hates fixing other people's mistakes. He hates other people working on his job. He hates like all these certain things which a lot of people hate, but he doesn't change his productivity. He's not the nicest guy all the time. He's a little sensitive. Yeah. So then you just treat him accordingly.
It sounds like you're talking about somebody else I know.
Not even you. Yeah. No, you. I approach you in a completely. No, I just do what I do with you. When it comes to you, I just do whatever.
Yeah, but I'm
not in charge of you, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, but the person who is, I think, treats me the same way. Like not even.
He
like
knows
that.
exactly what he's going to get from you.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like that's what I would want.
And that's exactly why I think in this industry that's more appreciated.
I know
you don't necessarily have to people please people, but you are pleasing people by being who you are every day.
I've said it more than once that I want to be good enough that I can be an asshole at work and nobody's going to be able to say anything about it. Like that's you can't do that in a lot of other industries. And I'm not purposely being an asshole, but I don't have to placate to anybody else's feelings.
Exactly. And that's how I placate, but this is how I model myself after, because I'm pretty sure people know what they're going to get when it comes to me. You know,
true. That's true.
know what I'm going to do. You know how I'm going to react. You know what I like and I don't like.
Well, this is where like I guess the political comparison could come in, because you're trying to get something out of everybody.
Absolutely.
Right? And and I'm not trying to get anything out of anybody. Like my
Imagine
expectation
if you put
is
those powers the opposite way.
what?
Imagine if you put the powers the opposite way and you just try to get stuff out of people.
Yeah, but like, okay, the problem is people. The people that have to allow you to do
yeah.
that. Not the people you're looking to, like, again, it's going to sound like I'm butthurt about it, but it's just like I'm so happy that I didn't do that to myself. Like watching the mistakes of having a person like Tariq in there because whatever, you don't get it. Like even him complaining, telling somebody to build 2 of something and complaining that the guy's only building 2 of something. Like whatever that agenda is hurts my head
Yeah.
to think about. I don't want to be involved in that. I don't
that's
want to
a
be
him thing.
I don't want to be in a meeting and be involved in like, hey, how come we're only getting 2 of these on each guy? Knowing why. And then do I fucking throw this guy under the bus?
You
for
wouldn't though. You
no, I know.
wouldn't.
So
You'd
then
be
that's
like, I told him to do that.
that's
I
way more
told him to take
frustrating.
his time. I told him to make sure he does it right instead of hurry up and do
yeah,
it.
no, I get all that. But then and then that's fine. My expectation of that because I haven't been in them enough. Like like the experience of doing that instead of what I'm doing now is just like realize not taking that shit so personally, right? Like I have to do it in my own job. I can tell other people to not take it personally. Like see with the hours, like it's the experience I have. I know not to take it personally. I know.
Yeah.
I know. I give them what they want, like without any. Like they know what they're going to get from me, and that's invaluable, right? And just show up and do that. The other,
And that's why you would have been a better choice than
Yeah, I
our
get it,
buddy
but
because
so-
you never know what you're getting from that guy. You have no
But that's
idea.
what
He's
we
like
know.
Donald Trump. You're guessing the whole time. We're not talking about politics. You're guessing the whole
The other Donald
time.
Trump.
You don't know, and you can't have any. There's no stability in the market to be putting your money where your mouth is when it comes to him.
so the fact that they can't see that makes me not want to work with them in that way.
He's not a dumb guy. That's why they can't see it.
Yeah, I get it. We've talked about that, but the people are dumb enough to let it happen, and so. Yeah, like you could look at that and go, well, thank God this guy's never going to be able to affect me. And I could be like this, like, be careful when this guy affects, like, whatever is going to come. I'm not in control of that. I'll deal with that when it comes. I'm not future tripping on any of that shit. When I don't have to, I have to just future trip on like what my job is. This is why I kind of trip myself up because my Thursday got fucked up in the way that I wasn't expecting or whatever. And I had a right to be mad, but I didn't have a right to do that to myself. I could have handled that load way easier. And I'm good at like stopping that and doing that. But when you talk to me about these meetings and these projections of what's going to come down, and even these hours that are just based on how long it takes to fucking sell something and all these other things, I can't get that bullshit out of my mind. And they're not looking for a 100% answer. They're just looking for whatever. But I can't get the complete picture out of my head about how dare you, you know what I mean? Like not recognize the good I'm doing. And that's not what the meeting's about right now. Like I wouldn't be able to separate what we're talking about now and my feelings about the complete picture. Right? And I can only do that with my hands on the job at the time. Like I even still to this time.
That's kind of a problem.
Yeah, because it's a hurdle that I haven't never had to deal with.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like I don't have to like that's what I've avoided that kind of issue and confrontation. Like I know that's I'm not trying to seek it out. Even if I try to be like a ladder climber and do all that, those ideas of what that kind of happens.
Is that a hurdle that you wouldn't mind?
I'm not
getting
looking
over?
to jump for it right now.
But would you want to?
It would only so it would. I've toyed with it. Like in
It's
this
not
situation.
beneficial, is it?
I've toyed with it. I don't see the benefit in it. Like I don't.
You don't
I
see
don't
the
wanna,
benefit in overcoming it, or you don't see the benefit in.
I see the benefit. Like I can see the benefit in both. But me personally, as my work life, I don't see the benefit of trying to jump that
not
hurdle
on the
right now.
priority
I'm not
list.
jonesing to try to
it's
jump
not
that
in your
hurdle.
priority.
I'm
'cause
not a
it doesn't-
power seeker.
It won't change anything.
I am
really.
grateful that I am physically well enough to do the job still, right? Like that's the only thing I could see myself being phased out of is how physical the job is and how. So this is where I get a fucking reward. Like this is my OCD-ness or whatever. It's like I wanted to finish this truck on Thursday. By the time, okay, I'll even go to last week when it was Thursday and I was nowhere near finishing the truck, but I had finished both fucking sides of it and the floor was built for me for the thing. And I could have just looked at it and go, I could set this up to look so nice. If somebody else wants to come in and keep working on it, then I want to set that. This is how I think of it now on the weekend is just assume somebody's going to work on it. They never do, but just assume that they might. And just not leave them in a fucked up situation. Have them be able to start something or I really like to have like a step finished or whatever it is. So I rushed to finish like the driver's side of this truck. and then I set up the forklift thing, and I set up everything for the right side of it to be set up by somebody. And then I can look at that and I see a finished step. And for the whole weekend, if I think of my work, I think, oh, you left them in a good spot. And then so I go to and so it's like that's what I care about the most. And I feel a reward. I feel
that's great.
Like I feel like I finished like a challenge or something. You know what I mean? Like I had a mini challenge for myself, and I can be happy with like it's like the state that I left it in. When it came to this week, it was finishing up the truck, and even by Wednesday, I'm not looking to see like how can I milk this job.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to see how fast I can finish it, but it's just like, okay, if I do this, I can do this and I can that. And you know what? I'm gonna have a great day on Thursday, and I've set everything up, and I started, and then it's just like a little bit got tripped up on something, and that just threw me for a loop. I couldn't imagine it was everything else was glorious, and I'm anxious about something else, like not work related, and like I think that's informed me a little bit, and so I'm on a little bit of an edge, and I'm trying to ignore that, and so it just all came out, and I used that as a thing, but I told you I recognize my fault in that, and I don't like want to sit in that. I want to be better with that, and so I've had a chance to cool down on that. But now when I look at the whole thing, and I finished, my floor is clean, my stuff is put away in the corner, the truck is done. They're going to look at it, they get to fucking whatever, see what I missed or do something, and now they get to push it out. And I feel good about that. There's a satisfaction. There's a reward. Like I can see the fruits of my labor, and I can point to it, and I can like just more for myself say it's done. I see that in you where you can say, oh, my shift is doing this and doing that. But most of the time they're just telling you how you could be better. And that is a hard thing, I think. I don't think I could be taking that.
Yeah.
Not that we all can't be told how we can be better. But
to hear it constantly.
Yeah, to hear it constantly when you know it's not true and not enough. Like, I don't need the attaboy is me, myself, and I looking at this truck and seeing what I did and doing and being satisfied for the whole weekend. I don't have to think about work at all. It'd be ridiculous if you don't think it's going to pop into my head right now. You telling me like we're slowing down on these things. Like, are they going to start now? Like, you know everything. And I'm not asking you to tell me. But part of me is like, okay, so I just assume they're going to have another skid there and they'll just start all up again. But what if they don't? What if they want to move on? You know what I mean? What if they wanted to get this going? So there's a 90% chance that it's going to be this, but there could be that. And I'll just move on. I'll think about TV, and I'll think about something else, and I'll go, and it doesn't inform me for everything else. But I am a little bit like curious, so you know what I mean, like, or I am going to be surprised or unknown, and I don't think you can ever that unknown. You don't like to live in.
No,
you want to
like
know if there's an unknown. You want to figure out how to be known about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but that's not just work.
No, that's
a whole thing, and I'm the same way. There's just like Tammy has happened. You go crazy. I'm sure it's happened to you. You'll just do it on purpose. Where Tammy will just say, "Yeah, we whatever. Sheila was doing this crazy thing." Okay, don't you want to know what it was? No,
no.
That drives you crazy, right?
Why don't you care? I just don't care.
If you want to tell me, go ahead. But
why didn't you ask this person that question? Because I don't care about that.
Yeah, like she's had to live with that. It's a trope, you know what I mean? Like you're fucking. You see it on TV where you go golfing and you fucking be like, so I heard Rick, you know what I mean? Like he's I'm sorry, Rick, no, but use Jim. Jim, I mean, it's like he's seeing a new girl. It's like, yeah, how's that going? I don't know.
Yeah,
you were golfing with him for 5 hours. You didn't. No, I didn't bring it up at all. Yeah, but
Jay had to leave. He rushed out today. Yeah. Where was he going? I don't know. He just said he had to go.
Yeah, you didn't ask?
No.
So you like to ask. I think, I don't know. You're not 100%.
In some terms, like if it affects me to a thing or if we're having conversation, sure. But do I actually, am I caring to the point where I need to be informed on certain things, like especially when it comes to people's personal stuff? I'm like, sure, you want to tell me? If you start telling me something right now, they say, okay, so I got to tell you this, Brian. And you're like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And I go, oh, I'm going to be engaged and I'm going to find out as much information I can. But if you say, oh, I got to leave work early today, well, other than me being a troll and be like, why are you leaving work early? I'm not going to ask you because it's just going to be like, okay, all right, well, I guess I'll see you tomorrow. And then, but if you get into that conversation, we tell it it's a different story. So I like to inquire. I don't like to intrude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're riding that fence for sure.
100%.
I hear
100%.
you.
Me and you have a different relationship, though. It's kind of different.
No, not even that. No, I'm just going by another random. where you could just tell when somebody wants you to ask the next question, and you're not going to do like.
Oh, I'm not
we're
doing
both
that.
similar like that.
Don't
Just be
force me to do shit.
Yeah, don't. You're not can't manipulate me.
No,
like you
fuck
want me
that.
to ask you why you're not coming to work. Just tell me why you're not coming to work.
Yeah, I
and
like that.
if
If you don't tell me, then
if they're like
assume-
shifty, if they're like, yeah, you know what, I have to leave at like 9 o'clock to my grandma, and if you're like, what's really going on here?
it's
Then
funny.
then your own personal interest is going to fucking creep in.
yeah, or my trollness.
See, that's where it's hard to trust. You know what I mean? Because you are like, I don't know fucking why you people like. It's not. You're not. You are trolly. You are like 10. You have it in you. Not just to. You'll talk shit that has no bearing for nothing.
Yeah.
Occasionally to see what kind of reaction you get from somebody.
Absolutely.
Like I don't know. I don't know if everybody has that. I don't think I have any of that in me.
I don't know.
I don't know, man, because that's again. So that's you. I don't even know if it's a different kind of troll. I guess there's all kinds of different trolls.
I'm not trying to be nefarious. I'm just trying to have
You're
fun.
not nefarious. That's where it will come in. You're not going to use that against somebody where some people have it. But it's interesting when you said like your emails during the week and just seeing what's going on. Like you just hate being in the dark.
Yeah, because I always know like if you don't have enough information, you can't make a proper decision about anything. Like I can't. When Kai started piano, if I didn't go through as much music as I did, there was no way I'd be able to properly inform him on stuff that I already automatically know about music that I take for granted that some people just don't understand. So he gets to benefit from the fact that I know enough information. When I make decisions at work, it's because I try to know as much as I can so I can understand and make a decision based on that. It's like the internet thing, right? Remember we talked about the internet and you switching over. If you would have known
my lack
before,
of-
you would have made a different decision then. Maybe not. You could have
Maybe,
made the
maybe
same
not.
decision, but you would have had more information to make that decision. And I don't like being in that part of it. So that's why we could ask Selena whenever I'm trying to buy something. I am just constantly all in. I'm watching YouTube videos. I'm reading articles, everything before I buy it. Then when I buy it, I'm still doing that afterwards because for some reason I just need to make sure I have enough information to make that decision to buy this thing, and then I need to reaffirm my decision afterwards to make sure. Even my phones, I bought the same Pixel phone for like 8 years, and she knows when it's coming around. She's seeing Pixel videos on YouTube. I'm sending her links and stuff, even though I already know about what I'm buying, but so that's just how I am. Like I just hate making decisions based on darkness.
We don't have to ask Selena about that. We know that about you.
Oh,
okay, we get that. Yeah, I should have more of that. I don't have that at all. I'm a consumer of convenience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I just that's why I like buying new cars because I don't trust used cars. Like I'd rather have the warranty.
Yeah.
Like I'll pay for the privilege of having a warranty.
Yeah.
Like so I don't have to like trust. But then you end up getting into a position where you do have to take your car somewhere for repair. Like where do you take it? Like you do have to. I don't have hardly any of that research in me. Like it's hard. I have to go kicking and screaming for the research part.
Yeah.
But then I have a friend like you who I could just ask.
I got
And
you.
but you're like, that's just like your interest and stuff like that. Like I do think, see, even in a way to turn it like political, like you look at your candidates and you see who you can vote and why you should vote for who ones and what lines up with what you kind of want. That's the ultimate frustration of never getting what they're promising you, right? And then that's why it's very hard to know if you're making really the right decision.
Yeah.
Right? All you can do is go, this is what they're telling me, this is where I go. And unfortunately, even with the internet and stuff like that, I just go like by a gut feeling sometimes. And so when you microwave with work or whatever, like I get it. There's not a bad, I'm not trying to say you're wrong in how you like are still engaged at work with your time.
Yeah.
I just feel you're being taken advantage. Like I see it more as it being taken advantage of.
100%.
You don't have to look at it like that. That's a fool's way to look at it.
I
That's
think I'm taking
No,
advantage
but you're
of.
never going to get ahead that way.
Yeah.
You're never going to accomplish what you personally want to accomplish by even giving that a second thought. because then you'll just be uninformed. Right? You're either like informed and not going to be paid for it, or just be uninformed because you're not going to get paid for fucking like all those things. And then you could be looked at as a unteam player. Like I can look at that and see why it's like any kind of pushback on me answering something other than getting fucking written up for something you were there. Like I think you should push back a little bit.
That was
But
ridiculous.
I get it. Like it's like why when I see it as an adult, when people talk about being an unpaid intern at big businesses or whatever, you can look at it in a bunch of ways, I guess. But two ways you can look at it is like it's them taking advantage of young cheap labor and getting something in, or it's really the only way you can get ahead is by volunteering and showing you can do the work for free or whatever, right? By stipend. And yes, just be allowed to be taken advantage of. We used to call it being an apprentice.
Yeah.
It used to be
Yeah.
called fucking like rookies carrying the bags to the buses. You know what I mean? Like you can't take advantage of it, but you do have to earn your stripes. And so by you coming up from the floor and doing all this, like part of your stripes are, you're going to hear an email about it when you're not at work, and we're gonna want your input, and you do that, and you just want to know what's going on. And so even like comparing it to like a political election, you do have to realize like sometimes it's not going to go the way you want just because you want it to go that way. And so I see how you compare like being reviewed on what 10 people are doing and do all that. But when I look at it from the outside, I would be able to let a lot of that go. It might not be for the good of everything, but I would let that go in a way like I've tried. Like this guy, you know what I mean? He can only do 2 of these things a day or whatever, and just that, and it is what it is, and not want to be responsible for it.
I need to fix that. I need to figure out.
Yeah.
If you can only do 2 a day of that thing, then maybe you can do 5 a day of something else, and then put them over there.
I never want to be that person. I don't want to be a manager. I'm glad they exist, but I don't want to like deal with that kind of thing. It's not. Like I said, I can kind of compare it to your voting situation, and I can easily say you're more of an informed person about why you want to vote for who you want to vote for, and you're strong enough person to admit like where your indecisions lie or whatever it is. But me personally, my experience has shown me that if I concentrate on the things too much, then I'm just going to be let down more.
Yeah.
And I've had to go from a person that's not going to vote at all because he's too worried about being let down to I at least want to have my say, right? And I want to have my reasons. And I don't want to look at you and go, you're concentrating on wrong thing. None of this is true. I want not look at you, you're concentrating on the wrong thing, and you think that's really going to happen, and try to convince you of why I think my way, to try to just understanding it. Like I don't want to abandon somebody that doesn't think of my way in a whole bunch of ways. Like this is the whole thing, you know what I mean? Like it's why my whole reason is just to not to believe in any religions and let them all exist.
Yeah.
Instead of being wholeheartedly on one, and then automatically thinking that negatively impacts the others. And I don't want to look at my side as always going to be right. I just want to look at, hey man, like I said it a bunch of times, like stop hero worshiping everybody.
Yeah.
Like this is like, you know what I mean? Like it's okay to pick a side and have a reason to. And then this is why it's better to do this and vote. It's just like I get that satisfaction of seeing the truck built. It's like, you know what? I appreciate whatever this person is trying to do, and this is why I hope their plan comes into effect. And that's why I love the existence of the Green Party or the NDP. It's not because they're going to affect the change that we want to see right now. This is where it is. Like that change is going to be slow rolling or whatever. It's not going to. The pipeline isn't going to be built tomorrow, and if at all, and even whatever is going to happen.
Yep.
And even if, like I said, go back to when weed was illegal, and it's just like if you know what I mean, like just make that promise to me, and then I'll fucking vote for you, and then we'll all fucking go in. And so those were important to me at the time, and now it just seems ridiculous. But there are parts of the world that's still not legal.
Yeah.
Like Texas, all these places where they can still do all that shit. And that's so 12 years ago for us.
I know, isn't that crazy?
That's so fucking long ago. And that's still, the world doesn't change that fast.
Well, we were having this conversation at work where here's me disconnecting again, and we were talking about like just the FDA and what's the Canadian Food Administration called?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Know. And they're just like, and there's 2 Americans, the new guy and Mr. Nate. We're talking about like he's like they're both in agreement. Like he's like it's the food in the States is so much shittier chemical wise and the shit they put in. He's like the stuff that because Nate's been here a while. He's like the stuff that I seen that Canada's banned years ago. They're still using in the States, and they've already proven that it's not good for you.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's yeah. I don't know.
Okay, so the political machine that lets that happen can't be all wrong. And so that's why I look at, you know what I mean, like the more Canadian style politics, either side, is like however socialistic it is or however nanny state it is, you get that. Like you could look at Europe and they're even further along.
Yeah.
And then it comes to like a climate change thing and just like, fuck, like.
Green, make the world green.
Is it going to be bad? That's where the argument hits the road. It's just like, if we don't do it, how bad is it really going to be?
Well, I have a story for you.
Sure.
It's
nice.
political.
Okay.
It's about Toronto. I don't know if you've seen this.
I don't know.
About making the world green.
No, I don't think so.
So apparently Toronto spent like, what was it, $70 million? I don't know. It was a lot of money on electric ferries.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So this thing got approved and everything, only to realize that they didn't think about buying any infrastructure for it. No chargers, no nothing
That's okay. Yeah.
for these ferries. So now they have to, I don't know if they're going to cancel this. They probably are committed by now or what, but it's kind of late in the game to be doing that.
Okay. So other than just I've heard a million stories like that in politics.
Yeah.
Right? Like I've heard a million of them. So
But
what does that
come
make you
on.
want to do?
It makes me want to be like freaking move to a different planet.
Yeah.
Digging ditches on Mars.
Yeah. Oh, then you're under all the regulations. Then
New
you're
ones.
then you're adding you're allowing yourself to.
I'm making the new regulations.
I don't want to defend all that. Not the ditch digger. The ditch digger is one of Ryan's ultimate numbers.
What if I'm the first ditch digger?
Then
I make
you'll
all
get,
the rules.
You'll get a statue built for yourself, fucking right in the middle of
Like
your first
this,
ditch,
like this.
and you'll be going. They're still using shovels.
No, it'll just be the ditch, my bald head at the top, and a shovel.
Like just the tip of the shovel
Just the
with,
tip of the-
with dirt fucking flying off of it.
This was Brian.
Yeah. Thanks, Brian. This skyscraper 100 years from now that this built this wouldn't have been possible for you.
Oh,
Well, just think of
man.
you as the same as Timothy Street from Streetsville. Yeah?
Oh,
You
yeah.
know all about him, right? Yeah, of course. Your legacy lives on. Don't worry
I
about
love
it.
Timothy, okay?
Yeah, your legacy will live on for sure. Yeah, I don't know about that. Like I said, I don't have an answer. I don't know like what the green revolution should or shouldn't be. Like I don't like I've tried to say.
You're
like,
for it.
I
you for
I
going
think it's
green?
a fool to try to fight against it.
For
like I do
sure.
see it as I'm not going to go fully in that it is a money laundering conspiracy. I don't think every fucking green initiative is just somebody trying to fuck the system over.
I agree.
All right, like I don't know where the balance lies. I don't know if it's right for them to go back to coal in the States. Like I'm not a coal. Like I don't know. Like is it bad for the coal miners to just be dying of meth and have no jobs because we've decided that there's no coal, or do we just go from digging coal to blasting mountaintops off to get the coal? You know what I mean? Like to devastating the area.
Yeah.
You and I don't give. It's not our native land. We're not looking to do anything. It's not our sacred mountains. Like it's easy to pick in spots. You know what I mean? Like fucking where your family grew up. You know what I mean? Like and the places we're talking about, and it's far away from all that. And it is what it is. Their land. But what if all of a sudden they discovered lithium under those fucking mountains?
And they start digging up. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
like you know
crazy.
that's fine. You could just like, well, look at all the money you're getting. Look at what I have. But it's like part of your family might not be for it. Might not be like, no, these are our
100%.
our ancestors are buried here.
Yeah.
For hundreds, like what you've just told me doesn't happen to a lot of like no family I know. I gotta be honest with you. Nobody I know has that kind of legacy and that kind of place they can point back to where they have so much going on. Like, you know what I mean? Like so much heritage that is legit, that is firsthand knowledge. Like that stuff is native stories to me. You know what I mean? Like there's a family tree for me and all that, but it's all about progress. It's all about civilization. You know what I mean? There is nothing to point to. It's been paved over for a new fucking thing. And so what if there's lithium? Is that a boon? Is that like now Jamaica can Dubai itself? You know what I mean? Or is that like, wait, like we all don't want to do that.
Okay.
And so,
right.
exploit that fucking land. And so, yes, you're a fool, maybe not to, but like over there, right? Like, and there's always an over there, but you're not looking at the people over there.
Yeah.
And so, when it comes to the future, like green, like it's not my kids. Which one of my kids are going to fucking get fault by the fucking crime?
These kids here.
Yes. And should I give the fuck about them? Or yeah, I should, because I'm a human.
Yeah.
And I know them. And so, okay, now there's, you know what? There's a few million other these kids around too. And what do we want to leave with
Oh,
them?
fuck them.
See, you can't. Like you get. He's like that's. I get it. It's easy
Yeah,
to
yeah.
just say that.
Yeah.
To put an extra $1 in my pocket or whatever it is.
That's a fact. I never
and
thought
the
about it
$70 million
like that,
dollars
actually.
and so that's why I think of the green revolution of that. It seems retarded to me. And it seems all that kind of stuff. But there has to be a goodness of it. When I look at Europe. And other places like on the other side of the world and see that where there's so much more use of solar power. There's so much more use of like green energy and selling their carbon, and it seems ridiculous to me. Like that doesn't seem like a business idea, but you know what? It's a thing that they've been trying to do because they don't have the space we do. They can't just send their garbage to Michigan, or they can't just send, you know what I mean? Like keep filling landfills up. They have to figure something out. And so it's annoying. Oh, what? I got to put my paper in this bin and that bin. And then you can see a video where it's all going into the same thing. Like, yes, it's corrupt, just like everything. But I can't fault the idea of want to be green.
Yeah, you can't fault the benefits and the pros.
Yeah, so I do, but I do think it can be exploited. But I'm not going to be bullied into.
You don't want to be bullied into anything.
Yeah, but it's easy to be bullied as, oh, you're just going to be a fucking. You're not saying this now, but. And this is my own internal problem, an imaginary conversation about like, oh, you're just wasting our present money on this climate change that may or may not exist. And I just, my experience says it is a real thing.
Yeah.
My experience from you know what I mean? Like
What,
Miami gets
yesterday
flooded.
and the day before?
Pardon?
Your experience from yesterday and then the day before
Well, whatever it
yesterday?
is, like I'm not going to be politicized by it.
Yeah.
And it's turned into a political thing, and I can get why it can be, but that $70 decision is on them. Like I'm not going to try to fix whoever I put in place to try to fix that problem is going to make their own $70 million fucking mistake, and it's laughable. And I'm not trying to devolve them of all that. And it's just it speaks to the general problem of bad.
Information. They should have just been informed
Yes.
and done some research.
Yeah,
that
you nailed
electric
it.
things need chargers.
It's boring to find information.
Yeah,
Not
it
for
is.
you, for me.
It is for some people, but like, yeah.
Like I'm the type of person, even when I'm looking on the PlayStation guide, just like, oh man, that game looks great. Look it up a bit. You know what I mean? Like, just don't go by the thumbnail and the little thing. Like, can you just, you wouldn't even imagine this. It's like, take the extra 30 seconds and fucking go to a fucking like IGN review and see what it's fucking all about. And then you might like get more informed.
30 seconds.
Whatever.
You need like good like 5-10 minutes, Jay. What are you talking about?
See, so I don't even know how to do this, right? Like, and it does inform you.
Yeah,
right?
for
Like, it
sure.
is silly when like you're so informed, and I'm not trying to be uninformed, but sometimes the information just leads me to be able to go nowhere.
Next thing you know, it's 2 days later and you're down a rabbit hole.
If that's the case, then you're not where you started.
No, never.
You're not where you started,
Never where
right?
you started.
You're all of a sudden thing like it is. Like I said, I don't feel duped about this kind of thing or whatever. When we talked about Samsung, like I just went from being another company,
Yeah.
out of the boons of companies, and I don't know who to boycott for what reason or for this or that, but it only came up in this tariff situation and what have you, or I combined it with that tariff situation. Samsung, I can't even remember why it came up, and so I looked at that video and realized, holy shit. Now, they're also just a multi-billion-dollar company that just wants my money.
Yeah.
And just like them, but I trust them as a product maker now.
Yeah.
Like I trust their mission statement or whatever it is. As an entity because of my information. Now I don't know how Sony compares to them. I haven't looked and seen. I don't need to because I'm happy enough with what the Samsung decision I've already had.
Yeah.
Like you just saying that to you, would you now need to steel man that argument? Will you now need to go like, hey, don't you need to see the other side? Just because you like
I
the Samsung
literally
story?
just thought about saying maybe I'll go look at Sony. That's literally
Right?
the first thing that went in my mind.
Yeah, I think that's who you are.
Yeah.
But you must be able to recognize that I don't need
You
to
don't
anymore.
need to. No, you understand.
That's just for you and you alone.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and
Yeah.
then I might learn something. Obviously, there's something to learn, but I don't want to, for me personally, that's just going to make the decision harder.
Yeah.
And I don't already, like, I just want to get back to vegging out and not make a decision any harder.
Absolutely.
It's like, in a way, it's like being critical of a TV show. Like the Sopranos ending or the fucking Game of Thrones ending.
Yeah.
It's just like, as much as it's easy to go on the, like, I hated it type of fucking limelight, it's just like, you hated it after 18 years of watching the show. You hated it after all this stuff. Like, you hated this world that you think is, like, real or whatever you want to think. Like, that's not, like, is it fair or unfair?
Unfair.
Yeah, but I don't think most of the people agree.
Well, then-
I think people feel entitled to get exactly what they wanted out of it or something.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They expect to get exactly what they wanted.
And so I think that's unfair there to the writers and the creators of the show.
For sure.
You're along for the ride. But it's art, and like I don't know. Like I find it mostly unfair criticism of TV shows most of the time.
I agree. Sometimes it's warranted. What are you watching now?
So have you watched Abundant or Adolescence?
Not yet, no.
Bro, people are talking about it. I want to talk about it
A
so
lot
much.
of people are talking about it.
We watched this. So The White Lotus is what we're watching now.
Yeah.
Are you caught up on The White Lotus?
Yeah.
Like,
pretty
so
sure.
it's only one episode to go now.
Yeah.
Like this week coming up with the last one.
Oh, this is the last one?
Yeah,
Oh
so
my
we
God.
watched. So my IPTV let me down, and usually we watch The White Lotus the next day, like on the Monday. I think this Sunday I'm going to watch it on Sunday night,
Mm-hmm.
and so I couldn't. However, the IPTV works, it was a corrupt file, and that was fucked. I couldn't even buy the show on Apple or YouTube. Like for some reason, HBO's got this show locked down,
Mm-hmm.
and we couldn't really find where to buy it. And then I realized, again, this is one of these revelations. Like HBO shows it over and over and over and over and over again all week long on their like the channel, and so I just I watched
you
it
just
last night.
tuned in.
Yeah, I
Okay.
just had to fucking go to a TV guide and find out when it was on. So I watched it. So there's something about this show that I am so enamored with.
I love this show.
You love the show? I've heard criticism about it. Like it's much to do about nothing.
For sure, but like, how can you make something that's about nothing and it's just so engaging?
Is it so? Have you liked the other seasons of The White Lotus?
I've liked every season.
Do you like once like? So I think Tammy wasn't too crazy about the second season.
The second season would be the worst out of the three, but
I can't find fault in any
I
of it.
can't. Yeah, I was about to say like it's not like it was terrible, and the second season leads into. They all lead somewhat to the next one, right? There's always something.
There's a
from
little
the
bit of a
first
connection.
One,
There, yes.
yeah, to the next one. So
Well, that Tanya chick was in the first two,
Yeah.
and now her husband's in this one.
exactly.
So I could see the slow burnness of it. Like there's a mystery to it, like not just a dead body mystery to it.
Yep.
But the like I like how there's a lot of there's just a lot of stillness to the show. They allow these it's recency bias, I think, but it's a show that just like dives deep into who these characters really are.
Yep.
And I love
Yep.
reading about it, and I love like seeing and just like the motivations of the kind of what the show is trying to say to you. Like each season, it's very, very like kind of not self-reflective. I don't know how to put it, but like I've never really thought of the Buddhist way much. Like a Buddha's a Buddha, whatever. Seeing the gold statue on America's or the Amazing Race or whatever like that, and get a kind of idea. But when they're living in that kind of space for so long, and you see the monk, and you see these fucking blue blood conservatives from fucking North Carolina, and like the ability to not to shut down, and the lack of identity that some of these people have, and like them just like struggling, like who they are and the situation they're at. Like I just get off on that. So I identify with everybody on the show at a certain time,
Yep.
no matter how different they are to each other, and it's not a I like watching the characters self-reflect on them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a show that I have to do it to myself, but I do, like I have zero Thailand in me. You know what I mean?
Really?
Like
Alvin's been to Thailand.
that's amazing. Like
He said it's like the best, most beautiful place he's ever seen.
doesn't it look like that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like it's like, yeah, like it's like the most foreign thing I could think of going to.
Yeah.
Right? Like everything about it. But it's just like people have been in love with Thailand for fucking so long. Right? Like I've never been to a Thai restaurant.
What?
Yeah, like I'm not that adventurous of a fucking eater or care to do that.
You've
that
had
much.
pad Thai before.
I've had Chinese food version of it or whatever, but I've never had
A
a
Thai
Thai food
version?
restaurant thing or whatever, right? That's bad on me. I never like. That's how far I haven't dived in to the Thailand type of world or whatever. I'm not into fighting, so Muay Thai, like it's a thing, and you look at it, it just seems so, like I said, so foreign. But
No Buddhist monk. I've always wanted to talk to like a Buddhist monk.
so I've never thought of it.
Oh.
I've never ever given it, like I've heard some great people on different podcasts talk about a Buddhist type of mindset.
Yeah.
Right. And the idea that thinking that we are our thoughts and we're not. Like I am the person they're talking about when they're talking about you don't think like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I let my thoughts control me. I let these things I could use it. I definitely recognize him when I see it on a show like that and see like, oh man, like I am like when I identify myself with some of these characters. Like I'm not a go-getting successful fucking guy like the fucking guy who's in trouble from North Carolina or whatever like that.
Yeah.
I see that, but I'm definitely not as far gone as him. And you see like how his family's all fucked up and his son. Like I went from hating the Saxon character, like Patrick Schwarzenegger, to just completely feeling sorry for this kid, right? Like gone from like that's a good actor, that's a good way, but his like journey, like he's just like when he. I don't want to spoil anything for people, but people close your ears.
Don't
like
spoil it. We have one more week.
But don't spoil it.
Yeah,
like,
don't spoil
when
it.
he's having a conversation with his dad, right? And like we're like, second of all, I want to try lorazepam. Or whatever those drugs are. Like,
Right?
give me some fucking some of that
Oh
shit.
my God.
Like, talk about fucking zoning out. And just like see, like again, like seeing, like it goes from being just some creepy frat boy douche to he hasn't changed that. To hearing like whatever the fucking the girl is telling him, right? Like Rick's girlfriend, fucking whatever her name is, the buck teeth girl, like fucking telling them, and like she just says some simple shit. Like this isn't a thing. He's just like, I don't even know who I am, or no, you don't know who I am. I could change if I want to. If I want to be a different person, I can. She goes, well, then you should. And then it's whoa, like you know what I mean? Like he's never thought of that. He's always just following in his dad's footsteps, and he's the only one who might be thinking that there might be something wrong with my dad right now, or doing all that shit. So like that's really a fucking show that we got right behind.
I really like the show. It's good. I describe it to myself, not to anybody else. I always describe it as like this slow character development type show. They're basically developing the character the entire time. And then maybe in the last couple episodes, once you already now you figure out who the guys are, then you know what what story is going on.
Well, they set you up knowing that somebody's dead.
Yeah,
like that whole thing. Like, who's the dead body?
They say the story is dead, and then they tell you all the characters, and our intuition automatically, oh, definitely that guy has something to do with it. But as the character develops throughout the season, you start to say, oh, obviously that guy, I didn't know that guy was like this. He's not going to do anything like, I didn't know this. And then once you get to it, you're just like, oh.
The murder part is almost a bonus for me.
Yeah.
Like the murder.
It's not even the main story.
It ties it in, but it's kind of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's always there.
Yeah.
It's always there. And, like even just like the security guard and his cute girlfriend, like and the whole thing, like the three girls are fucking, like, the three ladies are hilarious.
Yeah,
like all the little fucking infighting and seeing that like slow build. So the criticism about it is just they get to just show us pretty shots of Thailand, and we should be kind of satisfied with that. Like when my favorite podcast points out in a way that when you kind of hear like it is like being a little bit lazy. Like it's like almost. This could have been summed up in 4 episodes, not 8.
It could have, but the writing is.
I don't agree with
some
that.
Some people, I think they are taking it.
They're looking from a production standpoint, or
not
really
even
critical.
They're not. They think they're not being fair because to write something like a show like that, it's easy to write a show where there's so much shit going on action-wise and not being still. You can fill a show with gun battles and freaking all this kind of stuff. But to create a story and a mood with they don't have you almost said it before. The dialogue is there, but it's not like overbearing dialogue.
No,
there's a
it's
lot of
underbearing.
silence. There's a lot of like space stuff. There's a lot of time for you to do your thinking rather than them telling you what to think. You know what I mean?
That's what I love about the show.
So people take for
that's right.
granted how hard that kind of writing is. You have to be a damn great team of writers to be creating this on a consistent basis. Not even like a one-off.
No.
You're done 3 seasons in and they've all had the same type of feel, same type of mood, and fairly successful in doing that.
You're right, but I think when I read about it, each show has a different theme they're trying to sell on you. Like
For
this one
sure.
is way more of a who am I type of, like, you know what I mean? Like really like figuring out who you really are.
Yeah.
Like even the girl wanting to be in the monastery, and then she's there like does she like her mom, like the fucking North Carolina mom, like she is just out of this fucking world.
Yeah.
Like her fucking stereotypical character. Like I just can't like.
Which is why I don't think she's stereotypical, because they don't.
Yeah,
do
I don't get you. When you
stereotypes.
so I don't again. I'm not trying to spoil anything. I was expecting something that would have shone a light to me on something like that. No, she's just as clueless as ever. Like
I don't know. We'll find out.
when he has his. So he's had a dream sequence or two about his wife, and the gun and all, you know what I mean? Like whatever it is. Like that speaks to me of what she thinks her identity is. Like it's all tied into that. It's just like his son saying to him, like, I'm nothing if our business isn't good. And who am I if I'm not a success? And the whole point of going to Thailand and being this Buddhist is like, you're not tied to that. That is not who we are. You know what I mean? Like that's not, and it's trying to show you that way of life and what you personally can do. It's not hammering you down with it. It's just that kind of mentality. Like when I think of going to the Caribbean on a fucking vacation, it's just like your island time and you slow down and this is not important, that's not important. And I can only look at it as a visitor type of way. I don't understand what it's like to have that as a way of life type of way. And this is a version of that.
For sure.
Right? Like it's a different kind of island time vibe where it's just like, yeah, we still get shit done, but it's not who you are. I tie myself into what I do as who I am. And that Buddhist mentality, I think, tells you that that's not what you should do.
Absolutely.
But that's all we do. That's what we talked about for almost the whole show.
Yeah.
And so that's why I say it's so foreign to me. It's not why I haven't had pad thai. I'm just saying, I'm not an adventurous eater.
So you need to get pad thai.
We could do that. Yeah.
I mean, there is a Buddhist temple in Mississauga.
Yeah, they're all around. They're more than you. You know what I mean? Like I get it.
That's the only one I know of that I can pinpoint that we can go. Should we go talk to them?
About what?
Have you seen White Lotus?
So this is a show we just started watching, and I don't even know if Tammy has the stomach to watch this. Keep going. Have you ever watched Gangs of London?
No.
So it's in 3 seasons right now. Like it's the 3rd season, and I watched with the IPTV. I watched most of my sports, or especially golf, through the British thing. So I get these British commercials all the time. So there's a show called Gangs of London, and it's fucking violent, bro.
Yeah?
It's so fucking violent. It's almost too violent for Tammy to watch.
Yeah.
Maybe not me.
I've watched a couple shows like. Have you ever seen the movie Gangs of New York?
That I saw that, yeah.
So is it like that type of era I'm talking?
No.
Is it like recent?
It's recent.
It's like recent?
Recent.
Yeah. I like violent shows. I've watched the
Yeah,
show
you should watch
Warrior. That show was crazy violent. It was about, I think I told you about it before. It's like Chinese immigrants settling
Yeah,
into
you did.
thing.
Yeah, that's right. In San Francisco, right?
Yeah, San Francisco. Crazy violent. But I started watching this show called C with Jason Momoa.
Oh, see, that's been out for a while.
It's been out for a while. And so I just started watching it, and it's crazy violent, but it's kind of cool.
It seemed like a stupid concept to me.
That's why I never watched it in the beginning.
Yeah.
But Alvin was talking about how he loves the show, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a chance. And then someone else was talking. They were talking like I was talking to Alvin, and somebody came by. He's like, oh yeah, I seen that, and they like it. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a chance. I think I'm like 5 episodes in, 6 episodes in. You start to forget that they can't see, but you know it's a part of the story.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of weird. I'm not 100% sold yet, but I am wondering what happens.
Okay, well,
That's how I can describe.
All I gotta
that
do is
show.
tell Tammy there's a show with Jason Momoa in it.
Oh,
And
she's
it's in.
all into
Okay,
it?
whatever. But I didn't. Would you say something
Yeah.
else after that?
He's crazy in the show, though.
So,
He's
I can see it. I mean, I don't know. He's almost too Jason Momoa-ish now. Like, you know what I mean? He's not just another actor.
Yeah.
He's like, you know who he is. It's like
no.
almost seeing Jason Momoa on TV. But
It's the same
That's
type,
something
yeah.
about the commercial I remember kind of liking. So I would want to take your recommendation. I would be curious on what you thought of this Gangs of London show.
Yeah, I'll watch that.
There's another
Listen to
show.
that type
I don't
of
even
shit.
want to tell. I don't think it's a slow paced show. It's different than ever any other show I watched, and it's something about it. It's like a very human show. It's called Unforgotten, and it's a British show. It's been on for like 6 seasons or whatever. And it's a British show about cold cases.
Yeah.
Like a body gets discovered in the river or something like that. And they try to figure out what happened. And they go back and they reanalyze the case from fucking ages ago. They figure out who this person was and they go
like
back.
that kind of
and
shit.
it starts to destroy. Like it's like almost like White Lotus. Like they start to give you like 6 or 7 different characters on like might know they give little flashbacks of that they're not telling the truth about what happened. They were with this thing and their life has gone on now for 15, 20, 25 years almost. And they're totally different. And then this has come back to haunt them. And the police treat it like it just happened yesterday. Like it's so easy to just a cold case, who cares type of thing or whatever. But then you get to see how that destroyed the family. Like
What's it called?
Unforgotten.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, well, great. Well, like,
I like that kind
it
of
really, like, it makes you so human. You know what I mean? Like whatever. It's frustrating, and you see, but
I like crime shit.
yeah, I would. Okay, well then I would recommend it. It's cool.
My last recommendation, well, I think this is a full recommendation. It's called the Bright River. Did I mention this to you? I remember mentioning
Not
this.
Virgin River.
No. That's the greatest show of all time. The
king of rom-coms.
The bright. Fuck, I need to figure out the name. Something about Bright River, right? It's very Mayor of Easttown type thing.
Oh, yeah?
It's a
I
limited
love that.
series.
Yeah.
It's about a cop, right? And she's not a detective, but she has detective instincts. And yeah, so it was really good. It's really good.
We'll try to figure out what the title is.
Yeah, I'll try and find out. But it was, if I had to recommend a show, if you liked Mayor of Easttown type of that kind of stuff, this show was pretty good.
Nice, but we don't know what the long dark night.
You know, now I'm gonna Google it.
We got this. Will be the
Now I'm
last thing we get to
gonna
fucking
Google
do.
it. Yes.
There's a few other ones. Did you watch a show called Paradise? It's about.
I seen that on. Oh yeah, I think I watched the first episode of that.
Yeah, you should check it out. Like it's not.
I should
like,
continue watching
Yeah,
it?
it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
guy. It's called Long Bright River.
Long Bright River.
It's 73% on Rotten Tomatoes. If that means anything to you.
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it's.
But sometimes-
it's with this chick. You might know her.
I watched Love on the Spectrum yesterday because the new season's out, and on the IDMB it's like says 78%, and I want to find out the fucking 22% maniacs who fucking think that that's not a good fucking show.
It's with this chick. If you recognize her, she's in some.
It's like Arya Stark.
Oh, it does look like her. No, it's not her, but it freaking does look like her.
That's who I would have said if you showed me that.
Mickey
picture.
Fitzpatrick.
Okay. Oh, I have heard of that name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have heard of that name for some reason.
So she's really good in it. She's
All right.
really good in it.
Long Dark River.
No, Jay, now I can't even remember.
Something with Arya Stark and a river.
Long Bright River.
Okay, Long Bright River.
But yeah, it's really good.
That again, not because I know you make good recommendations. That was one of the weirdest. Like that's a hard recommendation. You can't. I personally am coming up. I'm blanking on other shows that I wanted to maybe talk about, but I was an idiot and just wrote TV and went to. Oh, this is that. This is fuck. This is going to go longer than I want it to. But I go. I've stopped wearing my watch for sleeping.
Oh my God, Jay, why now?
Well, we can talk about it next week if you want.
All right.
Sorry, man.
Okay.
No, I'll take because it's bullshit information.
It is.
It doesn't. I knew I would be sleeping at like about 11:30.
But more information.
And no,
is
and then
better than
yeah,
none.
it was useful, but now I don't know what to do with that. Like
Yeah.
I've gotten that information.
Well, I could tell you a time it got useful.
What?
Yesterday, I went to work. Booby's like, oh, he's like, I'm so tired, man. I'm so tired. I'm like, really? I'm like he's like, yeah, I only slept like 5-6 hours last night. I said, bro, I sleep like 4 or 5 hours a night every night, and I come to work. I'm not that tired. He's like, no, you don't. Pull up my app. I said, average 4 hours, 3 hours, 6, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, that was useful right there. I'm like, if Jake could see me now.
I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. I could just say the same
It's
thing.
better than not being sure.
Yeah, but that I'm telling you, that information is fucking fake news.
It's not fake
I've woken
news.
up then in the middle of a dream, like waking up and seeing that, and look at my stats later on and see, and it's like, oh, you had no REM sleep that day. It's like bullshit. I remember dreaming, and I also part of it was the total. It would never have me sleeping before 12:30, and I knew I was sleeping before. I don't think it can accurately count.
I think mine's accurate.
No, it's not. It can't. There's no way your wrist can tell you you're at REM. There's no way.
Of course it can.
No way.
Why do you think that?
Because it can't test your brain waves. I don't think it can test. I can see
It does it through oxygen levels,
it half-asses
blood levels, heart
You would think I would be on
rates.
board with the half-ass nature of it.
It's not even half-assed. It's just doing it in a different. Jay, why did you bring this up now?
Because I had it on my thing. So we'll dissect into this. That'll be our topic next week. Okay, well, go ahead. What else do you got to say about it?
All I want to say is that it
Gives you
uses
useless
your
information.
regular stuff, and then it analyzes and predicts when you would be in a thing. Like my watch has my oxygen level and all these kind of stuff.
And it's informed you how? So you can show booby stats?
It's informed me more. More information
Bullshit.
is always better than no information.
Yeah, we've kind of said, but I've said there's that information. I can't trust the information.
You can.
It's not proper. There's no sleep clinics where they put the fucking waves on your head. Like I don't think it's accurately measuring my
Those
sleep.
things are $1 million.
Yeah, so that's why it's a half-ass thing. It's like
I wouldn't say half-assed, but yeah, sure, you could say
it's
that.
fine. Even if it gives me a daily readiness of 50 or 100, I'm still going to work that day. Like, it doesn't change what I have to do.
It doesn't have to change what you have to do.
Yeah, but now I don't even trust the thing. When I've looked at it and said I've only got 2 hours sleep, it's like there's no way.
Yours is just inaccurate.
Yeah.
Mine's fairly accurate, I'd say.
Yeah, well, you just keep thinking that.
I would say
Right?
so.
You just trust that information.
I do.
All right. Well, just check your source.
I want to thank everyone for work-related podcasts.
Sorry for the keeping it short like that. Too much work-related talk before. We are Related by Work on Twitter.
X, and we'll see you guys next week, I guess.
Take care, boys and girls.